Marketing is a game of experimentation, and what works for one company might not work for you. We are talking to professional services companies here. So by that, I mean anything that's like law firm, accountancy, insurance company, events business, environmental services, commercial real estate, and anything kind of under that umbrella, like consultancies. So if you're a professional services company and you fit that kind of remit, then you found the right video. So let's go and start covering how you need to market a business like that. And the truth of the matter is that professional services firms have it kind of really good on the one hand, and on the other, it's really tough. Now, the benefit of this video for you is that I am in the professional services business myself as a marketing consultant running a marketing agency. I obviously have many of the tips and tricks that I've used to grow my own agency can be applied in the same way to other professional services firms. So I think the benefit of that will come across hopefully in this video. So let's start with outreach. So this is the concept of knocking on your ideal target or prospect's door and saying, hey, look at me, these are my products, these are my services. So in this case, these are my services, and would you like to discuss more? Are you in the market for this sort of thing? Do you have this problem? Shall we chat? So the principal ways that the companies have gone about that, and now I'm focused on digital marketing. So telesales is one method of doing this, just cold calling and setting appointments. Not knocking that, but that's not what I cover here. So cold email marketing is an automated channel that works very, very well in this sector. Now, it definitely works less well if you're a tech company, but take it from me. So as a marketing company, most of you as professional services firms probably get contacted twice a day, some people, by marketing agencies or SEO agencies or whatever, trying to get into your email inbox and saying, hey, do you need these services? And most of the time you probably just ignore those. But it has been one of the most successful channels for my marketing agency. So whatever your preconceptions are of it, whether you think it doesn't work, it 100% does work. The thing is that I would only really recommend that to companies that are starting out, because if you do that as you grow and scale as a company, you start sacrificing your brand. And maybe when you're starting out, you're not as precious about your brand, but there's definitely a perception problem if you keep knocking on doors with cold email marketing. So bear that in mind. There's great software out there that can do this. There's great companies out there that can manage the whole thing for you. But key is differentiating yourself in the content and using the right software that makes people believe that you may actually be a real human being. And so there's software that actually does this. And it's definitely worth investing the time into looking at the proper technology solution and the right content that will convince people to get on a call with you. So you can expect something like a 1% positive response rate on an OK campaign, right up to, I've seen 3, 4, 5% positive response rate. So you send 100 emails out, you get 5 people saying they want to have a chat. That's sort of the industry top standard. In those cases, you probably have something free to offer, like an audit, or there's a couple steps. So they're committing to something that's less than, let's say, a phone call initially, and then you're trying to push them to a phone call after that. It works very well if you run events, because events is a very good strategy in the professional services. So you can do cold email marketing to invite people to free events where they get a lot of value. So you'll get a very, very high conversion on those. We're able to fill rooms of 150 people within a couple days, just with an email list that we can get like that, just through scraping LinkedIn. So it depends on what you're doing, but it's definitely got to be part of your mix, and you've got to get your head around how you're doing that, because everyone is in their email inbox, whether we like it or not, all day long. If you can get there, if you can be relevant and timed well and send out to enough people, then you're going to be getting a lot of leads. Just be very careful about being too pushy, emailing the same people twice, emailing the same person with different salespeople in your team. All these things are very bad looks, so be careful. The other way you can do it is using LinkedIn bots. Now, if I do remember, at some point there will be a link in this description to this video that will take you to a LinkedIn bot training that I have actually created. And it's the same concept as cold email marketing, but it's using LinkedIn to reach out to target prospects. So it's a completely new channel. It's very, very difficult to do properly. But that's why I've got a whole tutorial that will teach you how to set this up yourself. And for like a couple $100 a month, you can get 10, 20, 30, 40 clients per month. That's the one for choice for me in 2019, and that delivers great results for my agency and other professional services firms. This is what I recommend to companies that have a tight budget or are new to digital marketing. It's the easiest to kind of get your head around. As soon as you have any kind of budget, as soon as you understand digital marketing, as soon as you want to actually graduate out of that and create a system that will generate high quality inbound leads predictably that you can just turn on and off, you really need to move away from that sort of thing. And so the two areas you can then look at are effectively Google advertising and social media advertising. That's effectively the two options outside of cold email marketing, for you. What you pick depends on how niche your services are, how well they are searched on Google by people, and whether or not you have a lot of competition on Google. Because ideally, the simplest thing that you can do, talking about search advertising and search in general now, is run Google Ads. So of course you can do SEO, and SEO is a fantastic channel, but if you're new to digital marketing, it's going to take you a lot of time to rank your professional services company highly on Google. It's almost impossible for you to do that. If you're, let's say, like a consultancy, you are competing against Bain, McKinsey, you're competing against the top of the top. And it's like that in most professional services firms. And most professional services rely on this channel quite heavily. So they are going to be pumping tens of thousands into the commercially relevant keywords, and they're going to have very aggressive strategies. So, in terms of SEO, because it takes so long, I might steer away from it, and potentially I might steer away from Google advertising as well. It just depends on you. If you have the right team that knows what they're doing, this can deliver clockwork. So the very important thing to do is, if you're going to play around with Google AdWords, you need to have a crystal clear understanding of what the lifetime value of a customer is to you. You might have seen before I was discussing customer lifetime value on this channel as well. If you don't understand what the profit you make off each average client engagement is over the lifetime of you knowing them, then you don't actually know how much you should be spending for a client. So you have a lot of homework to do. Like, you need to get a number for that. So for instance, I know that my company, the customer lifetime value is around £5,000. Okay. So I'm willing to spend a lot of money to get a new client. I'm happy to spend it on search advertising or social, because I know that on average, over the lifetime of me knowing that person, all the monthly retainers and the one-offs and the websites and whatever else, the margin I'll make off those in the long term will be fantastic. Will be that sort of amount. So I'm just basically saying, how much am I willing to spend to get that profit? Okay, and so it's somewhere between 0 and 5k, ideally closer to 0. But you need to know, so that you know what you're maximum willing to spend, and then you need to be patient. It takes a long time to optimize Google AdWords account. And you don't have to go with the most obvious things. If you've got a good strategy, you can capture a lot of the long tail keywords. You can get yourself ranking and have your ads running along stuff that competitors are not doing or not capitalizing on. Maybe you specialize in certain niches. Maybe you specialize in other ways. So I'd say that if you can do search advertising, that's the obvious first step, because it will just be leads galore. So you got to, but make sure you understand crystal clear how much you're willing to give away to Google and to the agency you're working with, and to the people that you're hiring, how much you're willing to give away in order to get each new client. Okay, so the same thing goes with social media. The great social media channel for you will be LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the biggest database of business people on the planet. So if you're going to do any advertising, it's probably going to be LinkedIn. There are some exceptions to this, which I could, ping me a message after this if you want to understand how you can use Facebook and Instagram. But if you use LinkedIn well, then that's all you're going to need. And I've already mentioned in the outreach section, a way that you can message people directly through LinkedIn. But what I'm talking about here is LinkedIn advertising. So that's ads that will pop up on their LinkedIn feed or on the side panel within LinkedIn that are all about your business. And these don't have to just be ads that are, hey, we're a law firm or we're an accountancy. It's starting at £500 a month, or get in touch. That's too on the nose. You want to have what you call sponsored content. So these ads that are coming out are, high quality pieces of content that you've created. And what you're doing is you're saying, I want to talk to all of the companies in this sector, and I want to talk to all the CEOs in that area. And you're making sure that all the people that fit that bill are constantly seeing really relevant information that you've produced that they will be interested in on the top of their feed every time they log into LinkedIn. And when they click on those, go into your LinkedIn right now and see through your LinkedIn feed, you'll see it says promoted very gently on top of it. You'll see that people are doing this to you, and they're paying to make sure that they are top of mind whenever you log into LinkedIn. So it depends on how niche your services are. If you only sell to a certain sector and there's only a certain people within that sector, or you only sell to finance directors, or you only sell into HR people, and your route in is only a few thousand people, then the more it's like that, the more you want to stay away from paid search, because the search volume is going to be low, and you want to stay and stick towards something like LinkedIn, where you can define precisely who is your target and send them really, really relevant content that they're going to get value out of, and make sure it's always pinned to the top of their feed. And eventually they will click onto that content, they will come onto your site, and you can ask them for an email address, a phone number in exchange for that content. Or once you know that they've enjoyed some content, you can then send them a follow-up ad, and you can follow them around the internet to jump on a call with you to drop an inquiry. So that's typically how it works. You have a funnel which is all about building value, making sure, and then you're tracking the people that actually click and read that stuff, or watch those videos, or download those ebooks, and then you're sending them further ads to take the next step. And of course, you can have many different campaigns going on LinkedIn, some for this sector, some for these people, whatever you need. But okay, obviously the difference being that search advertising is people actually searching in Google. LinkedIn, you're going out to those people and hoping that they're interested. So obviously search is more powerful, but if you only have a small niche audience, then there's not likely going to be many people actually searching every single month for that specific thing. Otherwise, I hope that has been some great info for you and a great way to get your head around what's potentially out there. Hey there, brainy marketers. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you found it useful, do us a favor and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video on all of your social media channels. So go ahead and do all those things, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers.